I got a couple things. I don't know how to file a claim in the common law. I got a guy who's I got 118 hours of labor and he doesn't want to pay me now.
Should you file a warrant of debt? I'm sure they got it up there in Commonwealth. Oh, yeah, Pennsylvania's a Commonwealth. I'm sure they got it. Then you just go to the district court lady and you just say to her, can I have a form for a warrant of debt? And she'll give it to you. You fill it out. The guy's got 21 days to answer. You get a default judgment or summary judgment on the guy, but you don't want to do that. I want to tell the court I want to issue out a warrant for his arrest. Why he has to be there, and you read the charges out in front of the judge or a magistrate, and the judge will ask you, so what's your story? What's your version of it? And then if he says, whatever he's got to say, like, well, I don't think I owe this guy any money. That's going to be his version. That's his version. And then the judge will say whether the guy owes you money or not. And if he gives you, if he says you owe him money, the judge is going to give you a judgment. That doesn't mean you collect the money. All it means is you got a judgment. So that means if you take that judgment and sell it for a penny on a dollar, penny and a half on a dollar, which unless you're getting $1 billion, $10 trillion, it wouldn't make much sense. But then you say to the judge, I'm going to require a garnishment hearing, or I'm going to require a lien hearing. And then the judge will say, okay, we'll send a garnishment hearing or a lien hearing over this matter in 2 weeks or a month. And then the guy has the opportunity to come forth before he gets to see his paycheck garnished or his property lien. So you better know where this guy lives.
Oh, I know where he lives. He's right down the road from my house.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. What's funny, too, is you got to find out, did he have you as an employee, or did you as a contractor, or just a friend?
Well, this was a friend, and he tried to get me to sign a contract and be an employee.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's even better if you're just a friend. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But if you're an employee, you're kind of fucked. If you're a contractor, it's kind of 50-50. But as a friend, oh, yeah, he's screwed.
Well, yeah, because he did come to me, and he sought me out.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's man on man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, thank God. Because, like I said, if it's an employee, then they're going to have all kinds of mediation. They're going to have arbitration. They're going to have some sort of contract loophole bullshit. That's a real nightmare when you're an employee. But then if you're a contractor, that's not too bad because you could actually show the bills, the services, and everything else. But friend on friend, oh, yeah, that's the way to go.
Right. But I got about a bunch of witnesses there, too. That would be something I should do.
Okay. Well, then, if you do a warrant of debt, then obviously you ask the lady that you're going to have you want to have a subpoena form. They're going to have a subpoena for witnesses.
Yeah.
So then you're going to fill out a subpoena for all these people witnesses. Oh, yeah, you better believe you put up your subpoena down, your witness list. And if anybody's got any kind of video or if anybody's got any kind of paperwork, then it's called subpoena duces tecum. You want the paperwork as well. The lady will ask you, do you want a subpoena or do you want to do a duces tecum as well? And you'll say, what is that? And you'll say, well, do you want anybody to bring something tangible, like something like a piece of paper or a video or a lawnmower or a car or a sofa into the court? Do you want them to bring something that's relevant to this case? And they're like, oh, yeah, that's right. He owes me a weed whacker. Like, okay, well, tell him to bring the weed whacker. And then the judge will just hand the weed whacker over to you and say, here you go, buddy, here's the weed whacker. So it would be like this, duces tecum kind of thing like that. You want him to bring forth the witness list, who witnessed what happened, the agreement, and the documents is like the duces tecum. It's like you got any kind of receipts or bills that the other guy has or any paperwork or contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got another simple one for you. I got some traffic stuff going on. Now, I already sent a letter to the cop, and then I sent a letter to the...
What kind of traffic stuff?
It's just, here we got, what is that, inspection sticker. I don't have an inspection sticker.
Yeah.
So he gave me that. Another thing is emissions, but I don't have their license. I have a common law ID.
Right.
So he's gonna make a claim that I gave him a license or whatever, which I don't. Now in the letter I explained that to him, and then so here in Pennsylvania, these cops, when you usually sign a ticket, they're the ones that put something in there. And I actually went to court with his buddy before, and that guy got caught lying on the stand. Now I didn't know anything about the common law.
Yeah, they're allowed to lie.
What's that?
They're allowed to lie. And?
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. And that's just it. I didn't know any of that. But this is what kind of led me to you because, when I left there, they're in there. I could hear them saying, oh, he almost had you. So I did some more research, and then I found you. So, like now I just sent a letter, and then...
Well, look, the big thing is when I always say these to people, the easiest fucking letter to write them all the time is that you want to apologize and you want to say sorry for any man or any woman that you trespassed upon. You want to apologize to anything, any man or any woman. You want to beg forgiveness of any man or any woman that you have done wrong to. And then you want to say, yes, when a man or woman has done something wrong out in the public, to the public at large, he owes a debt to society. So can somebody please tender me the bill, tell me exactly, the damages that I owe so I can pay off the debt to society. I want to pay off the debt to society. Can please somebody tender me the bill? Show me what I owe.
Okay.
That's it. And then because if you don't do anything, if there's no debt is a German word for guilt. If there is no guilt, there is no debt. So they could say, are you guilty or not guilty? Is there a debt? Well, I got a piece of paper from the county saying there is no debt. So there is no guilt. See how easy? Yeah.
Now,
yes.
Will that flip that into common law then that way, or?
Of course. It's in common law as soon as you say there's debt, there's guilt. The judge is going to ask you, even if it's in a traffic court, do you plead guilty or not guilty? They say, well, I got a letter right here saying I'm not guilty. You say, what? I got a letter right here. Well, from the county prosecutor right here. He says, I owe no debt. There is no guilt. I don't owe anybody anything. So where's the guilt? If there's no debt. Guilt and debt's the same word. In German, it's the same word.
Right.
So if you owe no debt, you have no guilt. So what the hell are we here today for? To discuss what? That I have no debt? Well, good. I agree. So there is no guilt. So what are we here for again? Drives them fucking nuts. Because that's the worst thing you can say to a German guy, man, is that he owes you a debt. German guy will scream up and down, I don't owe you a fucking debt. Because if you owe a man a debt, you're a slave. Right. So pay that debt off, and I ain't going to be your fucking slave. And you better not go around town telling anybody I owe you anything, because I don't owe you a fucking thing. See, but in this country, in 1980, they started issuing out credit cards to normal people, which was obscene, because now everybody's in debt. And it's okay to be in debt. But people who are German or in Germany, they're like, no, we have no credit card debt. No, we don't have debt. Like me, I've never even applied for a credit card. You could ask any branch manager, I give you my social security number, and you could say, my name is Karl Lentz, here's my social. Have I ever applied for a credit card? You could fake it and say you're me. And they'll say, no, you've never even applied for a credit card in your whole entire life. That's right. That's what we were taught in German. You're not in debt. You don't have a credit card. You're not in debt to anybody. It's certainly not a bank. Being in debt to my brother or my mom is bad enough. I couldn't imagine being in debt to a stranger. I owe a debt to my mom. I owe a debt to my brother. I owe a debt to my child. And that's enough. That's enough burden on me. It's burden enough by being called dad. It's burden enough being called son. It's burden enough being called an uncle. That's enough. I certainly don't want to be owing somebody else and start kissing other people's asses. That's why I said, give me a donation, man. Don't put me in debt. Don't say I owe you something. If you want to donate, that's fine. But you want to fucking pay me? Fuck no, man. I don't want to do that, man. Hell no.
Right. So I guess I asked the cop because, there isn't going to be a lawyer there. It's just going to be the cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm saying, but still, it's going to have a county prosecutor. You can write. The county, the cop, also has a legal department. So obviously, I'd find out where the legal department is for the police officer. Obviously, I wouldn't write to a police officer because that's going to make it look like you're stalking him or threatening him or communicating. He's got a damn job to do. He doesn't want to answer your stupid letter. I guarantee he's got a legal department. So you call up the desk sergeant, or you call up his shift commander, or you say, hey, look, I know Bob, the cop, badge number 1234, he gave me a ticket, and I actually want to send him some paperwork, but I know he's a busy cop, and he's a busy man. Do you folks have a legal department down there? Who's the attorney who handles this stuff for the police department? Like, say, Bob runs over my shoe, with his police car. Where's the legal department so I can send them some paperwork and see what they say. All right. Because down here, I know where I live, man, it's like actually an attorney who's actually in town who actually does the legal work for the police, the sheriff's department. It's like his name's like Bob Sanders. It's like, oh, Bob Sanders, yeah. The sheriff's department deputy ran over your hula hoop. Well, send it over to Bob Sanders. Send it over to Mr. Sanders, and he'll do it for you. He'll take care of it. So just find out.
Okay.
Don't send shit to cops. They ain't got time for that bullshit. They ain't got time to read it.
Yeah, I understand. I got one other thing here. Now this is dealing with the farmers around here. They're messing with the farmers. It's in the paper here, and they're basically telling, it says, state to consumers, don't eat the raw milk cheese. And so I went and talked to this guy, and half the stuff in the paper ain't even true. This is what they're saying. The State Department of Agriculture is advising people to throw out raw milk cheese purchased from the Paradise area farmer, and it gives his name and address. Then it goes on to say,
they could advise people, man. They could advise people at Planet Nehru. What are you going to? It's just like I said. It's like when Alex Jones was advising people to buy his shelters to live under the ground because Planet Nehru was going to kill us. So what? You take it under advisement. Say, okay, your advice is taken under advisement. Yeah, I'm a man. I'm decide for myself. But thank you for telling me. Right. So there's nothing wrong with them telling you, man. Because like I say to people, when people say to me they want natural raw milk, I said, no, you don't. They're like, what? I said, no, you don't. They're like, why? I said, do you understand how much blood? Do you understand how much hair follicles are in natural milk? Do you understand there's a difference between A, AA, and AAA milk? And they go, what's that? Well, it depends on how much pus and blood and hair is in each milk sample. I said, when they fucking milk, they're supposed to shave the udders. They're supposed to. But if you want natural, hardcore, blood, pus, hairy milk, oh yeah, they got that available. So if you want real, natural, hardcore milk, well, you'll get blood in it, you'll get pus in it, you'll get hair follicles in it. You really want natural milk. Or do you want somebody to at least shave the udders, straight out the hair follicles, straight out the pus and the blood? Or do you really want hardcore milk? So see, like I'm saying, if you really want natural, hardcore motherfucking milk, just straight out of the cow's teat, oh boy, you're in for a surprise, what you're going to drink. So filtration system, yeah, I think I'd like to at least filter it. At least like not have my mouth full of half. See, so that's what I'm saying. It sounds all kumbaya and happy and cool to be drinking natural whole milk. Yeah, but you at least got a filter on the damn thing? Well, no, we do it hardcore here. What? Do you shave the udders? No. So I might get a 2-3 inch piece of hair in my milk every now and then? Well, yeah, quite often. Oh, yeah, well, gee, I don't really think I want whole natural milk. Thank you for telling me. See, because like I said, they might not tell you. And that's why they're supposed to monitor when they bring in a big milk sample and the milk truck comes into the dairy processing plant. They'll take account of how much impurities are in the milk. They'll take a blood, a pus, or a hair sample, and then they'll grade the milk. And they'll say, okay, that's AAA, or that's AA, or that's single A. Like that goes to cat food. That goes to making cheese or butter. That goes for drinking milk for human consumption. They'll have different grades when that milk tanker rolls into the processing plant. So like I said, if I was the EPA or FDA, I'd explain that to people. Instead of saying I advise you not to drink whole milk, I'd explain to people, this is what real milk looks like. And when you see what real milk looks like, you say, oh, God, that's nasty. Hey, we're just the FDA here, just showing you the damn picture. This is what it really looks like. Oh, wow. Yeah. Have real hardcore milk? This is what you're going to get at the bottom of the pail. This is what it looks like. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, yeah. So this is why we give it different grades, A, AA, and AAA. And see, that's what's funny, man, how Karl Lentz knows this stupid stuff because I used to work in a dairy. So it's pretty funny. Like, what the hell does it know? And believe me, I don't know a lot. I don't know 1/10000000 of a billionth of what needs to be known. But I do know about this. So that's pretty funny, talking about milk. But, yeah, so what do you think that should do? That the EPA shouldn't warn people about not drinking whole milk?
Aquila is the only one unmuted right now. The other guy dropped off.
Yeah, because my tact, it was probably not the kumbaya, tact that he probably was thinking he was going to hear. It's just like the guy with MMS. I said, the guy, David or whatever his name was, man, I said, you're selling bleach, right? It's bleach. It's a bleaching agent. Yes, it's okay. And I don't think people, when they hear me talking on my show, they want me to stand up for the farmers. I will stand up for the farmer. There's no doubt about it. I will stand up for that farmer. If you want to drink whole, hardcore, natural, right out of the teeth, hairy teat milk, God bless you. So the city people who might think this kumbaya shit is real cool, great. But, let them see what it really looks like. Let them know the reason why the FDA does the grading. To warn people, look, some of these cows might be sick. Some of these cows don't have, penicillin. Some of these cows, there's pus in there. There's, all kinds of crazy shit can happen. And we test the milk as it comes through the dairy to protect you people. Just like when I worked for ConAgra, they had the FDA was actually in the processing plant. And it was so much fun watching the supervisors try to slide things past the FDA. Why? I don't know, because their paychecks wouldn't have changed. But they were like, we put too much salt in there. We put too much of this. We didn't put enough of this in. This batch is probably going to come back bad. We're going to dump 10,000 gallons of this shit down there. We're going to get in trouble. We're losing another 10,000 gallons of this stuff. I hope the EPA doesn't catch us. I hope we slide it through. It's ridiculous. You're talking about human lives. You're talking about food. It was Healthy Choice. It was funny. It was like the Healthy Choice banquet, Morton pot pie people. That's what I worked for, but it was called ConAgra. So, but it was just funny watching the supermarket trying to slide shit through that they knew the EPA was not going to pass. So I'm telling you, the farmers, I'm sure they're great, wonderful, beautiful people. But if they got a choice of throwing, 500 gallons of milk away, or maybe sliding it through and hopefully they get paid for it. I'm not saying all farmers would just say, hey, you know what? I hope the EPA doesn't catch us on this one, but, we need to make money. The cows need feed, and we're hurting. I wouldn't put it past a farmer to sell something that could hurt somebody. And then when they hurt somebody, then who's liable for when that kid gets meningitis or spinal meningitis and the kid ends up in a wheelchair? Because the farmer wanted to try to slide something past the EPA or try to, not do the proper testing, and some kid gets spinal meningitis and winds up in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Who's going to pay for that poor kid, like my kid, getting spinal meningitis and being in a wheelchair for the rest of his life because a farmer wanted to try to sneak something under the radar? I mean, I understand. I totally get it. I'm not bashing farmers. I'm not promoting the United States government. I'm trying to find a happy balance. And I'm trying to say, look, we got to work with these people, both sides.